sometimes the Romans, the Greeks, and even the Gauls live exactly at the same place? Let's find out. Welcome back on Laughing Museum. My name is Cedric and thank you for joining, liking, eventually subscribing, commenting. If you want anything for me to comment, I'll be happy to. Any Q&A is always welcome. But here I am in a fantastic place between Avignon and between Saint-Rémy-de-Provence. I'm in the south of France and I am in this fantastic place called Glanum, where I'm visiting that antique site. I mean, look at that place. It's absolutely amazing. This is late October, almost November. We are entering slowly into the winter. I'm just wearing a simple button shirt. How crazy is that, right? And just saying that this place is absolutely unique. Why is it unique? It's because it's really rare when you have places where we can find actually traces of the Gauls, which arrived here around the 7th century BC. Actually, the place is named after the god, which was called Glan. That's why they named the city Glanum. I imagine that probably Paris is named for the same reason. Second, we're here because there was also a Greek period. Maybe you know that the Greek arrived in Nice. If you don't, you have to read that in my book on Nice and the Riviera, probably called Nike or Nicaea, after a victory, which was a name. You have to know that for Nice, for example, the Greek never really invaded Nice per se, but preferred to open a counter so they can do a business with the people of Nice. The Romans, on the contrary, did try to invade because you can't reduce yourself. That's how you do, and it ended up being like mostly this Glanum, and you can hear by the name Glanum, mostly a Roman city. This is a typical Roman city. Little added in the life of people in Glanum. Of course, like every Roman city, they really have a place which was 360 survey. They had the mountains at the back, so they were naturally protected, and they had this crazy view all the way to the back of the mountain, which is definitely helping to survey and having that. But it's funny because when you organize a whole built of the city, you really see there is a really market down there, which you can see right there, and then you have a fantastic fountain, which was the one which was worshipped by the people from Gaule, and that became kind of the hip kind of neighborhood in the city of Glanum, with a fantastic staircase you can still see with terraces on both sides. And that's why when you're out there, you have this fantastic view. That really was a place for people of Glanum to enjoy. A typical Roman city. You can tell you got Vedustato, which has been rebuilt right behind me, which is a temple dedicated to health. The Roman really took the theory of the Greek that soma sema, your body is a gel, and you have to exercise through the famous gymnastic if you want to think clearly. There was the theory of Plato that soma sema, which I live by that rule. I'm always amazed also that the theory of the soma sema, which appeared around the 7th century, even though it was theorized by Plato around the 5th century BC, it was theorized in the same time in India as yoga, which is also kind of an exercising system, eating system, a thinking system, a meditation system, which was all made for you to think clearly about what you want as a human being and has a civilization, which I find mind-blowing still today. I admire the Roman civilization for many other reasons. The fact that if you look at the cities, if you look at the underground of Paris, if you look at the underground of Nice, for example, you find so many fantastic examples how those guys make perfect cities. Everything was really detailed, and those guys led to those fantastic Renaissance cities that you can still visit today. Just one last thing about the Gaule. I'm going back to the 7th century BC, so that's mean before and I just saw a kid. I'm very happy that people are taking their kids here. That means that 7th century BC, people were really aware that some places have what we call kind of a vortex. A vortex, what does it mean? That means a place that is filled with energy, and this energy is really giving you something from the earth. I visit some in Arizona, in the US, for example. So you can find this kind of vortex almost everywhere on the planet. Cherry on the cake of that fantastic place in Glanum is that Roman arch, which is the oldest in France. I mean, look at that beast. It is absolutely magnificent. It is an absolute masterpiece. And of course, as you might know, it's been a way that completely revolutionized the way of constructing building, right? From the Roman, we'll move to the Gothic arch, and the whole history of architecture is coming from that key vault ceiling have massive trouble spacing out those things. But I'm so happy, and there's a lot of emotion in being actually just in front of the oldest Roman arch in the history of my own country here in France. All right. Thank you so much for joining Laughing Museum. Don't forget, no matter what you do, so come visit Glanum, it's fantastic. And don't forget, no matter what you do, if you're not doing it with a smile, well, you're doing it wrong. You guys take care.